Guys, I want you to watch this video. I want you to understand how politician moves in Nigeria, how they play their politics, and to also help you open up your consciousness just to probably know the strategy of politician and how they are being exposed through this video. It is a video of Alibaba that I stumbled upon online, and I've been wishing to share it with you guys. I just want you to watch the full video and understand the way politics is being played there. So this video will establish to you that what we have in Nigeria are political jobbers right from the days this country was established, maybe before or after the amalgamation. Even up to now, we've not really have a true leader, a sincere leader that has good integrity or good imagery. We've always have political jobbers who are just fighting tooth and nail just to acquire a particular seat, and they are doing it for themselves. Selfish reason or unselfish reason, I don't want to know. They are doing it for themselves, for their friends and families. And they see it more as an opportunity, like a job. So I want you to watch this video, pay attention to this video. Perhaps it will open up your all the nerves of your cerebrum or whatever, or medulla oblongata. So just watch. I won't need to say much about this video. Just watch and you will understand what I'm talking about.
There are some people who are politicians who are in the Senate because they found that they are retired governors, past governors, and so that all other governors are going up to the Senate. That's why they're in the Senate. It is not because they have any valuable thing to contribute to development of this country. Some others have found that after becoming governor for 8 years, it's now hard to come by those excess funds
and privileges
and respect and all those things that you get in the society. And it's like, but if you step into the Senate, you can get a fraction of it. You know, who knows? You might even be Senate president one of these days, and it will look like you're governor again.
At least you could be there for a lifetime.
Exactly. So you don't have to do elections all the time, or even when you do elections, you are guaranteed to come back. So what's the sweat? So I asked one guy one time, I said, why is he running for Senate? He said his business has not been doing well.
And it needs a shot in the arm.
I said, oh, your business has been saying, this oil and gas thing, but he has some savings, and I've devoted my time to behavioral study, political study, seeing people, relating with them, and understanding why they do the things they do. People are shouting, "Oh, Lagos is so crowded. Lagos is so." Lagos is the fall net for a lot of politicians. So you are in a state, let's say, use a state, Ekiti. You are in the opposition, and then the other team wins. When they win, the state is not comfortable for you. So what do? You look for the best place to stay. You've made some money. You rent a house in VGC, Parkview, Banana, depending on how much you stole. How much you...
Sorry. You can hear, depending on how much you stole. Just continue watching. You will learn a lot from this clip.
Sorry. I take that back. Depending on how much you made. And so you... Okay, so you are rubbing it in now, right? Okay. And on, of course. And then you now think of, should I see, I don't have so much relevance in that state anymore. So let me relocate my family. So you relocate them to Lagos, get them a very comfortable place, give them 2 drivers. You get one for yourself, 3 drivers. You have a big queue that the drivers can stay, apply to the police to give you 2 policemen, 1 in the house, 1 with you. And some of the monies that you acquired while you were in government can still sustain you till the next election. So when the next election comes, you dabble into it again. If you succeed, You relocate the family back to, or then keep your Lagos house, and then it becomes your getaway place.
Country home.
A country
Whatever.
home, exactly. Or you then you hit it big to the point maybe you're a deputy governor, or you're the speaker, or you're a commissioner, and then you become relevant again in the state, and then you begin to move back. But Lagos is the safe home or safe house. Yes, safe house. If you don't win any election in your state and you're beginning to have issues with the current government, you just relocate to Lagos. But if you then have powerful people who were in your state before and were governing, and then they become ministers, you move to Abuja and stay there. So the reason people do a lot of things differ. Somebody is thinking of coming to Lagos now. You're going to be competing with those people, the Yahoo boys, the politicians, the fraudsters, the people who manage funds for politicians. Oh yes, those people who manage funds for politicians. They're the ones that drive up the cost of houses and everything. So you put your house for 2 million. An agent comes to you and says, "Sir, we can get you 10 for this house." The man is like, "No, I put it for 2." He says, "Okay, sir, we'll give you your 2 million. We'll take the whole place for 4 years. We'll manage it for you." And then they jack up the place for 4 million that you were asking for 2 million. And they get it. They advertise and they get it. And you're actually seeing it like, meanwhile, you still have about like 3 other properties that you have not put to let. You will call the guy managing your properties. Are you guys okay?
Baby, what's going on?
Are you insane? That house that you are renting for 2 million, do you know the one that is not even as good as this one was taken for 4 million? They jack it up. Guess who gets to rent it? Some politician who wants to give his girlfriend a good apartment so that he can sneak into that kind of apartment and have a good time. He will rent it without thinking of anything. He say, "How much is it?" Say, 5 million. Say, "Take 2 years." 2 years out of his 4 years, he's good. And so these are all the things that are happening. So there are reasons for everything. That, for instance, all the noise you're hearing now about politics in Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Rivers State, the rest of it, it's funding. Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time, and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chat. Should I find the chat?
Find the chat. That would be interesting.
Find the chat, please. I'm just going to read the chat. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, "Ali, I'm happy that you are now."
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not. Okay, so I'll get to it. So he says, "Hey, wait. Okay, yeah." He says, "Ali." Yeah, I'm going to read that. "Ali, I'm happy you are catching up with politics, but you still have a lot to learn." And I said, "Like what, sir?" He said, "Like how you get governors and presidents elected." So you need 7 governors to win an election: Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors: 1 Lagos, 2 Bayelsa, 3 Delta, 4 Rivers, 5 Kano, 6 Kaduna, 7 the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, "But Kano and Kaduna don't have much," he said, "That's for numbers."
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, "And what is money?" That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office, when it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract? Or they know what to do. He said you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your custom controller general customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the judiciary, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
War chests.
War chests that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who were sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that. Sometimes when, your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can't come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money they generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internal generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
Obasanjo seized it for like forever.
They called this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just and then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say get US or China support because of their businesses in your country. They would support whoever. You heard the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students,
NANS,
Market Women,
NURTW,
Unsettled the organized labor.
Look at the strategy. Just pay attention. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to the video I'm playing up there. Look at the strategy and tell me if anyone who is going to go through all this or have all this strategy layout is going to be able to fix any problem or create infrastructure that will enhance the life of the citizens they claim to be leading or ruling or lording over. So when you look at the way, and don't get it twisted, this is just the way it's being played all over the world. It's just that in some country, at least, some decency is being demanded of their leaders. There are some things, basic infrastructures, basic needs that are being met. That's why their citizens look at other citizens from other countries and just say, you guys are suffering. And that's why our citizens who travel abroad, who are now living in diaspora, can easily just call into the country and call their friends and family and tell them that they need to relocate over there. Because having lived there for many years, you discover that you are living in prison if you have the privilege to travel abroad. But politicians are not quite different from each other. They are all thieves all over the world. There is no country today that they are not stealing. It's just that our own is on another level. Our politicians are so daring that they care less what you feel or what you think of them. They don't care about imagery. They don't care about integrity. The only thing they care about is what is going into their belly. And they believe that they have made most of the citizens mediocre. In fact, almost 90 to 95% of Nigerian citizens are mediocre. people who will still want to support their ruiners, people who have been made destitute, that even when they throw crumbs at them, they believe as if, oh, they've done us good things. Because most of them have not left the shore of this country, they do not even understand how proper living looks like. That's why we still continually have this set of people ruling us. There is no country that is going to have the best of the best politician in the world, but there are some people, in spite of stealing, or despite all the stealing, they still find a way to leave beautiful imagery of them in the heart of the citizens because of the infrastructure and the legacy they will have built. But our own, it's pure evil. All our politicians, it's pure. I laugh when I see people fight between Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi. These are people who have ruled in different levels of government. You cannot pick the three of them and show me any infrastructure they've ever built. Legacy that is still running till tomorrow. The one who claimed to build Lagos and the one who kept saying that it is his entitlement to also become the president of this country just because he was once vice president twice, and the one who believe in his saying to all the simpletons who like to listen to him, go and verify. You rule Anambra, even if you were impeached at the time and reinstated at another time, you rule Anambra for 8 good years, 2 times. There is no hospital in Anambra that everybody in the country are going there. They are going to now to, instead of going to UK. There is no public school in Anambra that we can begin to use as a case study for other states to emulate. And this is the person who is still coming to say he didn't steal. So you can be incompetent even if you are not thief. If you are not a thief, you can still be incompetent. And instead of people looking inward and how to build themselves, even build political parties whereby the youth can align and begins to look at not feeling like our parents did. I'm in my 40s and God forbid I raise children in this kind of, because it's going to get worse in the future. But that's why I need to share this, because when I'm talking to people about politics and the likes, and you see people shout, people are just so small-minded and they don't deal with facts. The same thing they do in religion is what they do in politics. They can't deal with facts. They can't come up with something reasonable. We have so much unreasonable people in Nigeria. As beautiful as this country is supposed to be, the set of people that dwells here, I don't know. And that is why they even produce it. You see the people who you produce as your best to lead you. See the way they think. A lot of people become rich in this country not because they have anything to offer, not because they did anything. You see the likes of Dangote or Tedol, everybody being rich, and Tony Elumelu, Genovia, and all the likes, and you won't be able to see what invention they bring to the fold, they brought to the fold. It's not as if they are just privileged people who just align with the political jobbers or as at the time and look for a way to just take advantage. We are just in a fix, we are in a rut. I don't even know how many Nigerians survive on a daily basis, but I just have to tell you that it is high time we start to probably think out of the box. And if you're asking me what's the solution first is to think of yourself and stop taking all these politicians as your celebrities, because when you go to newsstand, you see people fighting over one politician. You see the likes of in a common sense state. Are you telling me that people shouting that Jagaban is shouting Imilokan because he's Yoruba? Are you fucking telling me that? Effing telling me that after 8 years of ruination that Buhari gave us in Nigeria, anybody, any sensible minded person is supposed to vote for APC in this country? I can understand the people who are benefiting from the party, but be it Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, or whatever tribe you might have come from, are you even supposed to vote for APC? But you'll be so shocked that people will still vote for Tinubu. And people will come and tell you that, oh, they rigged the election, they rigged the election. Election is not easily rigged if they still don't have the support of the people who help them rigged. Elections cannot be easily rigged if you do not have the support of the people who at least voted for you to some extent. And there's no election in the world that they don't rig. Don't let nobody fool you. They rig election in US despite using biometric or technology or whatever. They rig everywhere. There's no election they don't rig. I remember when I was still in media house in 2008 when Obama became the president, when he wanted to run for the second time in 2012, he wasn't going to win because he was scared that he wasn't going to rig some of the elections. That's what an incumbent president does. I was so surprised during Jonathan's era when he just handed it over. Probably because he was just so tired of the thing. He was being pushed to just run. Maybe the guy was just so tired. It has not happened in the history of this country. But let nobody fool you. So when you blame the president, blame the president. Have you ever blamed your governors? Have you blamed your senators? Have you blamed your honorables? Have you blamed your local government chairman? I will still be talking about the area where I live now, where the local government chairman gave transformer to the whole community, and the Oba, the so-called Oba of this community at Ota in Agbowa, kept the transformer in his house. It has not been installed till now. The whole community, as big as the whole Ota is, Igbeyin Ota. Ota is in Agbowa. Agbowa is after Imota in Ikorodu. And the Oba kept the transformer in his palace, in his house. The chairman who gave the transformer up till now did not see to it that the transformer is actually installed for the benefit of the people. And the people folded their hands and kept quiet. So when you see people come out to tell you that all you all are stupid, I am saying it in capital letter, most Nigerians are stupid. And except you begins to wake up and you begins to wake up their consciousness, nothing will change. In fact, during our father, when I was born in the early 80s, and I quite remember that people were so happy. And there were still complaints. There were so many complaints then that things were not as they ought to be. We were thinking it was going to be better. During the military era, when things were so disrupted, when you compare that time to this time, you still discover that those times where you are living in Garden of Eden, now you are actually being fried. And only God knows. You would think that it can't get worse than this when Buhari was ruling, until Mr. Emilio came in and destroyed everything. People are not even begging for money again, they are begging for food. People are living from hand to mouth. If you're working and you are earning between 1 naira to 200,000 naira, you are extremely poor. But it's just that you'll be surviving anyhow. A lot of families have been disrupted today. Husband can no longer stay at home. They have to sleep in the office. They will go to the office on Monday and come back on Friday. Why? Just because they could not afford transport fare. How much is the salary of an average Nigerian? And if you look at the transportation system, there is no control anywhere. So the government will bring their own problems. They will borrow money, because a lot of people do not even know how government pay back all this money that they borrow. Every money that each president borrows, or governor, or anyone that they borrow, they are being pinned on the people who live in the state. President borrow money from China. They are looking for how to pay back the money. Part of how to raise the money is to probably increase the tax of every product. You'll just discover that the price of product and goods and commodities will just shoot up. Something you are buying for 15 naira before can just shoot up to 500 naira. You will not be saying, it's expensive. They've increased their task. And those ones will put it back on the product. So when we are buying those products at high rates, the money that is being generated by the company, whereas the company will pick their own and pay back to the government is using it to pay back the money that they borrow and squandered. Money that they borrow and just squandered. They share it among themselves and just squander. What do they use all this money for? Go to Hajj, renovate vice presidential lodge, buy SUV for the senator. People who are just sitting there saying nay and high. People who are bringing different issues just to see them talk. I mean, whenever they want to talk about sensitive issues, that's when you see them, camera being pointed to them, and they blow it on social media. As if those sensitive issues are going to be changed, are going to have meaningful impact. Nobody is talking about the primary reason why they are elected, to soften the pedal, to make the people of the community feel like citizens. Nobody is talking about that. So just continue, because I can keep ranting and this will not help. I just want you to watch this today and understand how politicians seized political position. Whether they see it as a mean of trying to soften the hard balls of the people, or to just take advantage of the system. And the beautiful aspect of the Nigerian politician is that there have never been any consequences. When you see governors and senators being locked up, it's either he or she is an enemy of the person ruling at the time. So they'll be using their apparatus, their tools, which they have, the ESCC, ICPC, DSS, or whatever, to bully people who doesn't align with them. But if you pay attention, if you have not really paid attention to this Alibaba interview, just rewind it back and rewatch again. You will understand why Nigeria is the way it is. Just continue watching.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is where you then have people who protest. We are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that. We don't like this. All of that. Comment. There's one other. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to
see deadly strategies. See everything he has been exposing since he began this interview. Deadly strategy that has nothing to do with any citizens. It's all about their pocket. So many rich politician kids today abroad or in Nigeria jumping up and down, flaunting money that's why when I see rich people in Nigeria, a rich person in Nigeria, I want to know what you do. But if I don't see the substance that probably produce the money, I will know you are a thief. And there's nothing on earth that you might have that will be seen. I will look at them as inconsequentials. Even your own personality, your life, your being, you will amount to nothing to me, because I know you are a thief. The society is supposed to thrive. You're supposed to thrive as an individual based on your intellectual capability. Intellectualism has been washed down the drain. It doesn't work again. Just be a thug. Asari Dokubo, whatever the other one that Tompolo, or be a thug. APC was doing it at the time, aligning with the government. They were paying all these Ghanaian dams. Even it was money who disrupted. That's another topic entirely. Be a thug. Be a NUROTW union, whatever. Be ready to kill for them. Those are the people. Just keep watching.
leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they would then disrupt the whole thing. They probably would be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on, you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. then they, you know, somebody did it when he said, oh, he was supposed to be... I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. You know, sometimes when these people say some things, you know, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates You can permutate and say, this man will be delegate in another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj, they go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I'm supporting, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. Why some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people? You already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all party chairmen, all parties chairmen, all parties. So it's not. So when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against and say, "You want to be chairman? We'll fund you." Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership. See, when it comes to politics, so, and now to answer your question correctly, why have I not gone into politics? I was offered Minister of State during Obasanjo's time, and I was supposed to go and do the rounds to get, so that by the time I go to the assembly, I can, which was what affected Rufai as well. He was listed as minister, but he said he was not going to do what he was supposed to do. There's some people, as soon as you mention that they would become something, they put the machinery in action to go talk to the people who will screen them.
Certainly.
Yeah. So that's why you hear sometimes some people get into the hallowed chambers and they say, take a bow. And then some come and they drill them. This is not accusing anybody of anything, but it is what we see.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see some people, you're like, this man should be asked questions. He has cases waiting in this. Why is he not being asked questions? Why was he not asked? Why this? Why was he not asked? Ajaokuta still question. Why was he? But then, and I decided as a no, but and I know if I get public office in the first week, Mama sack me. Mama said they will sack me. They'll sack me.
So I think I don't know if I remember correctly. This is where it's supposed to end, but let me check. Maybe ask part 2. So that's not the whole interview, but I don't want it to be too long. There are so many other things he explained about each governors, and I think the short 15-minute clip is self-explanatory, and you can pay attention to it and see and rewatch again if you do not understand and see how it works. This channel is meant for intellectuals, so if you are a cretin or a simpleton, do not come to my page. The page was designed specifically to probably enlighten people, illuminate minds, and to tell people what is going on in their environment and how they should approach every issue. People wake up every day to go and fight on behalf of one celebrity or the other. I used to laugh that it's like the people, out of the 100% of people, it's just like 1% are the intelligent part of them. Maybe 3% not too intelligent, not too daft. Maybe 2% struggling. Maybe the remaining 94% are just bankunjo, like they used to say in Yoruba dialect. And bankunjo means just people filling up the space. They are so inconsequential, irrelevant. Just people. And those are the people that the state or the political jobbers often rely on, take advantage of. And it's the same everywhere. But you see people just fight for things that is none of their business. You wake up every day, you've not fight for your tomorrow. You are not thinking of, what if I go blind all of a sudden? How do I feed? there is no enumeration prepared for you by the government, from the government, or from any entity that is to support you as a blind person. Oh, you think people, it is by doing in church? Anybody can go blind. Anything can happen to anybody. Alex Okubo was pronounced to be dead yesterday of cancer. I'm sure the guy might not even know he has cancer in the past until recently. What if you had cancer all of a sudden? What if you're on bike, you had accidents, and they had to amputate your leg or your arms, or you break your neck or whatever? Maybe you are incapacitated and you did not die. If you die, fine, but you did not die in this time around, and you don't have savings, you cannot work again. In fact, when you are complete, what work do you have? How much are you legally earning? In a state whereby we have our law enforcement mounting roadblock on the road, using POS to collect money, misbehaving on a daily basis, and people are talking about it, you have to restructure, you have to reform the police. Reform what? Reform people who are hungry. In a country whereby there is no consequence for any rubbish that you do, especially when you just align with the people who are at the echelon, the people who are at the upper echelon, like our Igbo brothers used to say. People who are running the show. Anyway, this is where I will end this. Until I come your way next time, I will urge you and indulge you. Please have brain. Without it, our country is going nowhere. We are going to hand over worst situation to our children. But some of the people of the country are planning to move their children. Some are beginning to move their children or ship them out to a foreign land. Because sometimes it's better to be a slave in a foreign land, to be a slave in your own home. Perhaps. I'll see you next time. Take care.